All right, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today is going to be the suspension lift episode. Here's what we're starting at. Looks like about 3 1/4, some change from the top of this tire. And we'll compare it with what we get after. We're doing the Vertex rough country. Talk as much smack as you want. Eventually this truck will get long traveled with the Holy Trinity. But for the mid-travel setup, I'm going to try out these Vertex shocks from Rough Country. They look pretty great. They came with a couple stickers to put on, and then some were already on. Just kind of peeled them off. You already know what they're going to be. They had stickers all over. They etched this in, so there's no hiding that's Rough Country if that's what some people want to do. Just use the classic Goo Gone. You know, delicious citrus cleaning power. It's just so delightful. Every time I change the tires, I'll be able to lean in and smell along here. And hopefully it's just a nice citrus smell that just delights my day. So, UCAs, forged. They don't weigh much at all. Look pretty beefy. Seem like a quality product. Everything I've heard about this is pretty good. Got the mounts for the reservoirs. New leafs. The ones on the stock setup here are definitely worn, and the ride is terrible. This is the left side setup here. Not going to bother showing you the right side because it looks the exact same. Could you imagine? Once again, coming in here, old leaves, kind of junky, just getting old, ready for a new setup. And today's the day. Go ahead and get us started here. Classic. All right, found the keys, unlocked the door, open the door. Gonna go ahead and just open up the hood. I feel like every time I see someone working on these things, the hood's open, so may as well start there. As you can see, the sun is completely ate away the clear and the paint on this section. If y'all were just wondering, that's how bad it is. These are all going away, of course, but it'll get sanded down and make it look nice. But let's go ahead and pop this open. All right, hood's up. Looking at the top of the UCAs here, got that bolt right there. Sure it will focus. Not that it matters. On the other side, is that one right there. I've heard these are really fun to get out. I can't wait. It's going to be just an overjoyed experience, I'm sure. We'll see if I draw blood today on my knuckles. But yeah, that's step one, I guess. Open the hood and start crying. All right, got the wheels loose and then raised it up just slightly. We'll kind of see here. I think it was about 3 1/4, 3.5 before, plus another 3.5 is 6, something around 7 and some change, or less than 7 range. So we'll just put it about 7. So it's probably going to be slightly under that. Guess we could drop the lift a little bit, but it's close enough for now. Kind of the look right there. Once again, that's about a 3.5 inch lift. Supposedly, we will see once it's actually done. Let's get going. All right, here's a little update. Got pretty much everything undone, ready to be removed. As you can see, the old original strut is just disgusting and bushings are worn. Most of everything needs to be replaced, of course. And other side as well. Ready to go. Start pulling all this out, swapping stuff, and then get the shield off here. Drop the diff. And relocate where the sway bar goes. And we'll see when we're done with that. All right, quick check-in. About to do the diff drop. Spacers, I mean. So almost ready to go. There's some new hardware right here. We got spacers, some longer bolts. Kind of a comparison to the original. It's just slightly longer. And catch up with you in a sec. Alright, and disc spacers are installed here. This skid plate bracket had to be cut and then painted. Kind of just brushed them off to clean them a little bit. And everything's pretty gross under here, so it is what it is. But here's the spacers, and then the skid plate braces have spacers as well, as you can see. All right, now I'll move on to the sway bar. Some new pieces that push it forward a bit and drop it a little to keep everything in line. And we'll see when that's all done. All right, so you gotta bash it a little bit to get them out, as probably most people know. I don't know if the third gens are different, but it just hits right along the body. I guess maybe some people just loosen the body and lift it slightly, and that's all you needed to do. But I went with the good old-fashioned bashing method. It seems to work on a lot of stuff these days, so sometimes you just gotta bash it. Once again, got the sway bar drops in, plus the reservoir mounts there. And yeah, now it's time to put shocks in, the other IIIXIIIs, and wrap this up on the front end. See you in a bit. All right, so here's how it's looking set up. Finally got everything through. Everything's tightened up for the first round of tightening. Looks pretty good. Once again, here's the driver's side. And yeah, let's throw the wheels back on, see how it looks. Right, living that squat life. And that's the front done. It is the next day. Takes a little longer than you think on the front end with the IIIXIIIs. Kind of a pain. But here is the front 3.5 up, stock rear, and it looks as dumb as everyone thinks, no doubt about it. Moving on to the rear, let's go. All right, back up, rear tires off. Here's the OEM setup. I'm gonna start by taking the shocks out and then the leaves and swap it all back. There's also a carrier bearing drop that I'm gonna be doing, since that ends up a little tight right there. As you can see, the angle is pretty extreme. So I'll just drop it down a bit to alleviate some of the pressure on those joints. All right, also real quick for the carrier bearing supports, I measured the thickness of each of these shims to see they're all pretty close, 0.3 something. So from there, I'll kind of add them up, and I was able to get 146 and 143, which was these smallest ones. The biggest, and then the remaining ones here. So that should be relatively close. Not that it's going to be too precise anyway, but that'll take care of that. All right, there it is. The carrier bearing kit dropped. I'm just gonna start with the max amount of shims, and then if it vibrates or anything, we'll maybe take one away and see how it is. All right, now on to the rear. All right, so just a quick update, taking these off. A lot of people use the little top square nut at the top or whatever it is, but it's kind of difficult to grip onto if you don't have the right tools. Even I have the right ones, and when you get to this point, it's just not going to happen because you can't grip it anymore. So the best way I found is just grip it. You have to cut the plastic off of these things. I guess if you're going to reuse these, you wouldn't want to do that. I don't know why you would reuse them, but maybe some people recycle them. I'm probably just going to throw them in the trash. Well, let's see. Maybe I should recycle. I'll research it. All right, shocks are out now, and the axle is being supported on the jacks. So now it's time to swap the leaves. Oh yeah, probably should get rid of that tire. All right, a little update. Got the new drop leaves in. Just haven't mounted them quite yet. Seeing how everything's fitting, but it's looking pretty good. As you can see, they're still supported by the jacks. I had to lift it up a little bit more to bring down the shackle side over here. And right now I'm just adjusting these brackets. They're kind of getting a little pinched, as you can imagine. This one too is super pinched right here. And now I'm just going to do this one. Take something like this, just tweaking it a bit, letting it angle itself a little bit towards the ground. These ones could probably do it too, just slightly. And then it'll give a little bit more slack when it comes to the travel and with the new lift. I once again almost finished. A little update for you. This bracket right here is a nightmare. I'm sure if anyone's done it before and it's a similar mounting position, it almost makes you want to just remove the bed. That's how annoying it is. And then these things are so much more beefy than the stock that I kind of had to just thinly cut away and then hammer it back for the holes to line up. About to hit it with some paint, finish it up, get the wheels on, and we'll pull it out. See how it looks. All right, so here it is, 3.5 inch mid-travel lift with stock wheels. If anyone ever has contemplated doing a lift without wheels, here you go. You're gonna be that guy with this look. Yeah, probably should go back to the 295s. Let's check it out. All right, here we go, everyone. Here's the big reveal. All right, this looks a little bit better. Got the 295s back on. Got the lift done. I'll probably have to settle a little, but this is the look. Nice to have a little bit of offset. It'll look better with the wider body kit. And yeah, there she's sitting. We'll see if it rubs. We'll go check it out. All right, well, you can tell if it compresses, it'll for sure hit that cab mount. Looks like it's gonna need to get a good old chop. On the front side, let's see. Oh, it's up against the fender right here. Not too big of a deal to cut out. And then, yeah, that's that. All right, thanks for watching. Just gonna check again where we ended up with 3.5 inches, pretty much straight down again from where the tire was. And it looks like we are now sitting around 8. So, guess it's 4.5 inches. We'll see once it starts settling. I only drove a couple miles, and maybe it'll finally settle in. Hopefully so, because that's a little bit more than I wanted if it ends up being that high. But yeah, see you on the next one.